Imagine if breaking a Tinder bio promise didn't just get you ghosted but could land you in the emperor's punishment chamber. That's ancient China, where your love life could literally ruin your life. Sex, lust, and scandal weren't private. The law treated them as crimes, and punishments were horrifying, public, and unforgettable. Premarital relations, adultery, or even rumors of impropriety could bring consequences that make a skibidi toilet speedrun look safe. Some punishments were physical, like castration or execution methods designed to dismantle the body painfully. Others focused on public shame, parading victims through towns while the crowd jeered. Imagine being ratioed on Twitter but in real life and with no mute button. Even minor offenses weren't safe. Women could be enslaved, beaten, or publicly humiliated. Men might be forced into palace service as eunuchs, basically getting VIP access to imperial drama at the cost of their reproductive rights. These punishments show how seriously sexual morality was taken. Crossing the line could be deadly, and the stories spread like modern viral scandals, terrifying, unforgettable, and impossible to ignore. Imagine if applying for a palace job today was like signing up for a Twitch tournament, except instead of losing a game, you lose your forever. That was castration in ancient China, brutal, irreversible, and terrifying. Castration wasn't just punishment, it was also a bizarre career path. Some men voluntarily underwent the procedure to enter the imperial palace. The trade-off? Give up your love life forever but gain access to power, influence, and the emperor's inner circle. Think of it as leveling up in real life, but the cost was permanent real-life account suspension. The procedure itself was excruciating. Survivors risked infections, lifelong trauma, and social stigma. Basically like updating your iPhone, but instead of software glitches, your body broke in ways you couldn't fix. For those forced into castration as punishment, it was a warning to the public. Deviate from the rules and your life could be rewritten permanently, like sending a spicy DM that goes viral, except there's no delete button. Yet eunuchs could wield insane influence. Some manipulated emperors, controlled wealth, and even shaped dynasties. Pain, humiliation, and privilege all wrapped into one medieval VIP package, more extreme than any skibidi toilet level or Elon Musk's SpaceX launch could ever be. Imagine if Spotify shuffled your body instead of your playlist. That's Lingchi, the dreaded death by 1,000 cuts. Offenders guilty of adultery, sexual misconduct, or other serious crimes could face this punishment, slow, agonizing, and designed to terrify anyone watching. Lingchi wasn't just execution, it was a spectacle. Victims were tied down and the executioner would systematically dismember them while the public looked on. Each cut was intentional, making the punishment as much about shame and fear as about death itself. Think of it as the original live-stream horror content, centuries before Twitch or YouTube existed. The psychological impact extended beyond the victim. Witnesses remembered the pain, the screams, and the ritualized brutality, spreading fear like viral content. One misstep in sexual behavior and your fate could be Lingchi, a chilling reminder that ancient China had zero tolerance for moral deviation. Even as horrifying as it sounds, Lingchi illustrates a larger social system. Punishments were carefully crafted to maintain control and enforce obedience. They were lessons in terror, ensuring that everyone knew the consequences of crossing the rules. Imagine if getting ratioed on Twitter or canceled on Instagram didn't just hurt your ego, it forced you to walk the streets in a giant wooden collar while everyone laughed. That's exactly how ancient China handled certain sexual offenses. Offenders could be locked in heavy wooden yokes, caged, or paraded through towns for hours or days. The goal wasn't physical pain as much as shame and social terror. Spectators would jeer, throw insults, and gossip, basically the medieval version of viral memes but with real-life consequences. Women and men both faced these punishments. For women, it could mean banners announcing their crimes. For men, it sometimes came with corporal punishment if they resisted. Imagine trying to stream on Twitch while carrying a 50 kilos backpack full of your own mistakes. That's close to the vibe. These punishments weren't random. Every parade and spectacle was a reminder. Cross the line and the world will see your failure. The psychological effect was brutal. Even those who didn't commit the offense lived in fear, like permanently being stuck in a Discord server where any mistake could get you roasted, except you couldn't log off. Imagine if your DMs on Tinder, Discord, or Instagram were suddenly monitored by the emperor and breaking the rules could cost you everything. In ancient China, sexual misconduct wasn't just a private matter, it could drag you into imperial intrigue and exploitation. Men and women could be forced into the palace under punishment or service. Men might become eunuchs, trading reproductive rights for proximity to power. Women could serve as concubines or in humiliating roles designed to enforce obedience. Imagine a TikTok challenge, but instead of followers or likes, you risk your freedom and dignity. Sexual rumors or false accusations could destroy lives. One misstep and someone could be pulled from family, paraded publicly, or forced into the palace under terrifying conditions. It was like being permanently stuck in a reality show where every mistake goes viral, but with no editors and no safety net. The system created a paradox. The more horrifying the punishment, the higher the stakes of power. Eunuchs could control emperors, concubines could influence politics, all while their lives were defined by extreme restrictions and constant scrutiny. Think of it as a medieval mix of Twitch drama, Discord server politics, and influencer culture, except the consequences were permanent. Imagine if getting ratioed on Twitter, cancelled on Instagram, and having your Discord server hacked all happened at once. That's the kind of social and physical terror ancient China could inflict for sexual missteps. These punishments weren't just about individuals, they were a warning to society. From castration to Lingchi public shamming to forced palace service, every punishment had a purpose: deterrence, humiliation, and absolute control. The state made sure everyone knew the consequences of breaking sexual or moral laws, and no one could escape scrutiny. It was like living permanently in a world where every private action could go viral, except the stakes were your life and dignity. Yet these horrifying practices also shaped history. Eunuchs wielded power, concubines influenced emperors, and tales of public punishment spread fear that maintained social order. Like watching chaotic influencer drama on repeat, terrifying, fascinating, and impossible to look away from. Modern society may have cancel culture, viral tweets, and meme scandals, but compared to ancient China, those are nothing. A private misstep could become a public nightmare with lifelong consequences. So next time you stress over losing a few followers, remember, at least you're not being paraded through town in a wooden collar, shuffled like a Spotify playlist, or forced to serve as a eunuch just for messing up in love. Ancient China didn't just punish bodies, it controlled hearts, minds, and desires, leaving a legacy both horrifying and unforgettable. Make sure you've subscribed to our channel for our upcoming secret revealing stories like this. And don't forget to like the video cause you've never learned history in this way in your school, and please comment below where you're listening from. I'm eager to know that.